And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the morning steam here on Sports Money. The time has arrived. Even I get excited for an NFL season opening weekend here, and this is a big day here on Sports Money, and for me to be with you here on the show. So let's going to cover the NFL games for today. We'll take a look at the big games in Major League Baseball that make sense, and also 5-game WNBA card and anything else we can get our hands on, including maybe a little men's tennis. But I'm going to take a victory lap for yesterday. I don't know if anybody follows all the picks here. Hopefully you did. I would say it was a monster day without getting all blowing the horns and taking, circling in the intersection and circles and things like that. But did feel like we had, we don't. All the shows, I love when they keep track. Hey, I want to keep track as best I can, but really I'm just trying to give out the best opinions that I feel like and try to make sure that you have something armed with you when you want to play a particular game, but it didn't matter yesterday. Pretty much down the board. I want to say it was probably well over 65%, probably even better than that here. Don't want to, if you combine the work that I did over at Winnable yesterday with the premium picks and also with the free picks over there as well. Just feel like we couldn't miss, quite frankly. I just want to cover a few of the games. We'll talk about the wins, the losses. Certainly, the one thing that I get to do here is talk about the wins. They used to say, "Hey, don't wrap up the action for me. Just move right into it." But hey, on our show here, we're going to cover them a little bit, especially when I don't know, on that noontime session we went 8-1, and that was just the beginning with some of those games. We did lose Georgia Tech Syracuse pick over, but we did have premium on Syracuse and morning steam picks in that noon session. Tulane plus the points, Bowling Green plus the points, under in Memphis. We rolled with Pitt. We got there with Pittsburgh somehow. We rolled with Rutgers. You guys were on them too with me when the consensus plays. Both of them 2-0. They weren't comfortable there, that other one, but Virginia got it done as well. That wasn't in the early session, but Army, Florida Atlantic under. We won premiums there. We had Texas, of course, to roll. We had premium with the under there. Arkansas, when that game, Arkansas led at halftime, they still got the money there, hopefully forever. Yeah, I'm sure they did, right? You had to be getting at least more than a touchdown. And Razorbacks tied that game with that 45-yard field goal. That was pretty exciting. And Texas, they won easily. We rolled with them here. And, yeah, Michigan's going to be hard without Harbaugh doing whatever he has to do to win, right? Northern Illinois, what a story. It was the story of the day, I would guess. You guys come up with some suggestions for some others. The field goal, the coach, the outright win. Yeah, we were on Northern Illinois as well. So, hey, a couple steam plays are coming in right now. Let's pass them along to you before I talk more winners yesterday. We're going to cover NFL. We're going to win them all today. I'll tell you, feel pretty confident here, and I think it's part of the whole scene for me here at Sports Money with Mike. Hopefully you guys watched the UFC. My UFC was actually a little bit, it was okay. It was fine, but a few didn't go my way in there yesterday, but a good UFC card yesterday as well. So, all right, let's take a look at that, Steve. So far, it's WNBA steam that's come in since the show's been on. 2 plays coming in, Wings and Sky to go over. Let's get on it now, fam. I think, look, the move is to the over. We know the bad news about Angel Reese and her season over. One of the headlines of the day, actually. But we know that Chicago was kind of toast anyways. You got a team like Dallas that always plays to the over, and now you have a top, Reese, for whatever you want to say, a pretty good defensive player. We know she is a killer on the boards, but that move was going over, and I'll probably go over there right now, 170 or so. I see it going here higher than that. even 171. So maybe no defense with that bad game. Chicago, they looked happy after that last win. It's going to be hard without Reese now to make the playoffs. Does feel like they'll end up short of that. All right, another one just came through just before that. The WNBA was the Dream and the Fever game to go over. That was another steam move here, and I think I could probably get behind that, but I don't know if it's going to be my play here, but just want to tell you that one also is on the move here. 170 at this point. These are pretty high numbers, right, for the WNBA, and there's still some unders going on, but maybe, just maybe, here as the season's starting to wind down a little bit, we'll see. But we'll talk about the 5-game WNBA card. Yesterday, Cyhawk game, we had it. Obviously, we had Iowa State. We ended up on the right one there. Did go over. Congratulations to everybody on that over, including Joe. Of course, Joe's going to be on the over, but that was a fun game there yesterday. Iowa State, that big pass and then field goals, bombing those field goals yesterday too, and they got it done. Like I said, we got there somehow with Virginia. I know that Mikey and I might have been on the other side, but look, it was just a close game. Didn't matter. It came down the wire, and Cavaliers got the only 2 touchdowns late in that fourth quarter. We also recommended Bowling Green. Didn't seem like it was ever in doubt. In fact, the Falcons led at halftime of that one. Remember Oklahoma and Houston? I was hemming and hawing. I mean, I was saying, the steam came in, Houston and under. Which one am I going to take? Houston or under? Kind of wanted to go both. We went under. It was 16-12. And, of course, Houston got the money. We got there on Pittsburgh. You guys were on with me there a little bit in the chat yesterday. The Panthers, 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, got it done with big plays. They kicked the field goal. Just felt like everything was going our way last night. And the late one, too, with Oregon State and Boise. We had the over. That was an easy winner. Hope you found it over on Peacock yesterday. Get your Peacock ready because you're going to want some of that. And just a pretty big day is just really what it felt like yesterday here. Cal, right? Cal yesterday as well. So hopefully it all went well for you guys, and we'll try to come through for you today. Let me say hello to everyone in the chat coming in a little more relaxed today. It's Sunday is a day of rest, and it certainly is. I got my full complement. By the time I hit doesn't take long by the time I hit the pillow on a Sunday night and get a good, and I feel good. I wish, the worst part about Sunday and maybe even doing this show with you guys is the 2 hours waiting for the kickoff to start. Maybe a nap would be in order in there. We'll send out some plays or what we're going to do. So join me over at Winnable, the QR code in the upper left-hand corner of or is it left? Is it right? I can't even, when I'm looking at it, I guess it's the upper right-hand corner, the way you're looking at it. And that's how you can follow me with today's plays. I've got a premium pick package up. All my NFL plays right now over at Winnable, a very modest subscription fee. But if you go over there to Winnable, you can subscribe to my free service too. I'm going to send out a bunch of free picks, and they were pretty good yesterday. We had a lot of FCS action on there yesterday, and that was coming through too. It's tough to process that information. It really it was hitting everybody within maybe the last 30 to 60 minutes before those games, but man, there's a lot of games to look at. Got to crunch those numbers, get the right plays out there. So this is how you want to follow me if you want up to date betting information, especially on Saturday. That day is going along. Maybe you're getting a little bit tired of your numbers or handicap or whatever, and I'm going to try to provide you with information there. So subscribe to my premium pick packages and use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those packages. Just sign up. It's free to join over there with the address you see there or the QR code. You'll get my basic package there. I'll send some stuff out every day and try to do between maybe 3, 5, maybe even 7 or more updates. Just depends how we're rolling. And let me just say hello to everybody. Thank you for coming in. We're going to start off with Dustin here joining us, ready for some football. Temperatures are dropping a little bit. We saw some not weather conditions, I would say necessarily out there just yet. Not cold weather, certainly, more towards the heat and how it affects play this time of year. Dre had a good day. Hello to Lewis, and he's got our schedule right here. Joey, thank you here. Lando's here today. Hey, everyone, please like this video, subscribe to our channel. Sports Money here with Mikey, with me, with the gang, and going to be an awesome day today here. But just the start of things here at Sports Money. It feels like they were already started when I asked, quite frankly, to be a part of this team. I know we're having some fun. Thanks for all those accolades too, back on that show the other night. Okay, Subhumans here today as well. And Justin's here, Nasty Nate. He's here. Nate, he's got the wrench, so be careful, right? And he'll take care of you. I've asked Nate to watch out for everybody, and let's keep it cool here in the chat on my show. Maybe I'm just a little bit old and clunky, but I don't like a lot of goofing around. We're here to do some business here on a Sunday. So we've got Nasty Nate here, keeping things in order. And thank you, Subhuman. Yeah, it was actually a monster day. I just, could only talk about so many winners there yesterday. But, man, we had premiums there. Baylor and Utah under. Of course, Eastern Michigan against Washington. Michigan State and Maryland game to go over was a premium winner. Central Michigan, Florida International over was a premium winner yesterday. I just love talking winners. Really, our premium winner was on the Virginia Wake over in that game, actually. Also, we had UL Lafayette against Kennesaw as a premium pick winner. We had heavy volume. Maybe this is what you're going to get. We had New Mexico State, despite what happened. How about Liberty? They were down. If you want to be that one team, if you're Liberty, right, they're got a chance to be that G5 team. And they were down to their last strike, basically, and got that win last night against New Mexico State. But we did have New Mexico State plus all those points as a premium pick winner here yesterday as well. Also sent out some free plays yesterday on those smaller games. McNeese and A&M over. We had Ball State on the free picks. Idaho and Wyoming under. Yesterday on the free picks. Cal Poly plus all those points. Northern Colorado plus all those points. Western Kentucky on the free picks that I sent out. Also Nicholls State plus all those points. And we had Northern Arizona plus all those points. So please join me over there at Winnable. You can turn on the notifications. You can just refer to it whenever you want. And you'll get many sports too. Some of that action is going to be middle of the night. We might have some Asian baseball. We might have, we're in the AFL playoffs. I don't know if anybody's watching Australian rules football finals here this weekend. Some pretty, the games are okay, I guess, here. And Irish King. I almost want to I want to see more and hear a little bit more information. But we were all caught by surprise by Reese's injury there with that wrist injury. Yeah, Irish King. Thank you very much. I'm not total non-conspiracy theory, but like I said, they were really happy after that win finally. So hey, Big Skip's here. I made it. I'm on the air, Big Skip. I love the way he says it, get Ramon going. I'm like, Fernando, thank you for the soccer there yesterday. We got mostly, I think most of the best action today will be in South America. It feels like today when it comes to our soccer card. There's some qualifying. There's some qualifying going on and things like that. Where there's not much going on today is really what I mean to say, at least for our domestic leagues and all that. So Amsterdam, what else? Hello. And Futon Betts is here. Luis, thank you for your support here as well. Thank you. Actually, David Wallace here. Thank you, Dave. We had just I thought the steam was a little flaky there at the end as far as coming through with a lot of winners there. I think the results a little bit maybe more to be desired, I think we'll just say there. But I think it was important and felt like that was the way to handle it on Saturday. So we'll see if I can clean it up a little bit with the flow of the show. And I think when the schedule starts to pare down a little bit, right, and we get the D1 versus D1, and it all becomes a little bit more clear that and maybe that will help the small schools team there a little bit. But there were a few clunkers out there. But we did, we went pretty low, even Morgan State, 1,000 under, games like that. We were kind of into there as well. But I was a little bit disappointed with some of that steam. We sent out, pretty good winners out there. So, okay, I'm going to see here what else we get rolling with the show, and Nuke Worker in the chat as well. And yeah, Subhuman, that's what I try to go to, the domestic league season pretty much, and all major competitions here. You're not, there's some great cappers out there. You're probably not going to get any, I was trying to think of some of the wild, they're not even wild leagues out there, but we stick to basically the 5 majors. All right, let's get going here. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Thomas. We will show it maybe. I just want to get rolling with the show. We got 100 of you in here. You don't want to wait anymore. But again, follow me over there. Please subscribe. It's free to subscribe. The more free subscribers we have, I'll send out a lot more free content as well. I think I'm going to try to get together the handicapper consensus list that I like to look at as well. And it'll be just a great show here today. Okay, let's start with the NFL here. I don't know, are we missing anything before we get rolling with today's notes on the show? And got a big card here, certainly no buys yet. So let's cover all the games here. I've got my best plays up there at winnable, but we got free winners here for you as well as we get rolling with this card. Get the winners out of the way here. And we'll have Major League Baseball here as well. But I thought the baseball picks were pretty good, pretty decent too, quite frankly, yesterday with some good winners. A little bit slow to start, but okay. Well, the Jaguars are going to take on the Dolphins here to get us going. All these games, of course, early card, 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific. You got the Jaguars coming here on the road against the Dolphins, Battle of Florida here. This is how the schedule works out. You just don't say, hey, let's match them up. You got to be in the right place in the standings and all that. But it's good we get this one here with the Jaguars here coming on the road, a 3.5-point dog here in this one. That's going to put me probably on the Jaguars here just because you're getting that hook. I'm not going to trust the Dolphins here necessarily to be able to cover a hook at this point in week 1. I mean, McDaniel's my guy, and he's pretty solid against the numbers here, certainly 10-4 against the spread as a home favorite. The Dolphins, always a pretty good spread team over the years early on in the season. But these close games, man, with McDaniel, it always seems to come down to the wire. I'm going to give the Jaguars a little bit of credit here still with Lawrence and also the backdoor possibilities here. It does feel like in this one, Jacksonville's won 3 of the last 4 meetings and 2 of the last 3 trips here into Miami. Miami 12-3 to the over in their last 15 home openers. But look at that number, 49. What's going on? Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is too high or these numbers are too high. I can't find a game with a 3 in front of it, right? Are they offenses? What is going? Is there a rule change I'm not aware of? Are the offenses supposed to come out and all of a sudden get back to normal and average a touchdown more than they have been over the last 2+ seasons when the scoring has basically stopped? When we came out of the pandemic, yeah, games were up in the, averaging into the 40s, but no longer. I mean, you look at, yes, there's some great matchups that are going to be high scoring, but to me, this whole board is off. I mean, there's just no way. Of course, some games will go over, but come on. These are very, very high numbers. Like they're just going to come out and put on a smoke show today offensively. So, man, I'm really look, I might be wallowing in my unders tomorrow, But I just feel like this is really asking a lot of all these teams today, especially in week one when teams have had no practice. And I don't mean that, but I mean, we're not playing these preseason games. They're not going out there at all. This is going to be a work in progress early on, it feels like to me. I'm going to take the Jaguars here in something, not around this number, certainly. I'm on the Jags, you guys, here with that hook. This is NFL football. So Jaguars have gone over a lot in their last couple road openers. I know we'll have opinions today, so I don't really need to say that much about the games too much, but let's see what you got. Hi, R. Tomps. Thank you, Nuke, for getting everybody maybe like and subscribe. Where are the games here? Okay, Louis will lay it, though, with Miami. He'll take the under. Thomas is on Miami. Dust 10's with me. He says it's the Jags. Fernando knows it's got to be here. And, hey, all right. Oh, hey, Sammy, all right. Nice to have Sammy the Bunny here. Nice to meet you. And he loves the hook here today. And, it's pro football. If anything, to me, look, going to get a lot of opinions out there and a lot of great researchers and all the metrics and all that. And hey, look, I mean, I love personnel, but NFL is as technical of a handicap as there is to a certain extent. I mean, we're dealing with fractions here. That's why it was ridiculous when I saw those odds on our man Sean Higgs, 200 to 1 to win a handicapping contest with 25 people in it. Whoever made those odds just don't know how to make odds and don't know how to make odds for a handicapping contest. If you say I'm a good handicapper, I'm here on the show, I pretend I know what I'm talking about, take 24 of you in there, take 24 of the best in the chat. You couldn't separate a group of 25 handicappers that are, even if they just did their research and put someone 200 to 1. It's just impossible. You could flip a coin and not be 200 to 1 in handicapping. Not other things where handicapping is a game of skill, I would think. But, when the best handicappers in the world can't even crack 60%, how are you going to put someone 200 to 1? Does not mean that. Hats off to that account. I really like that account. And, you do it to get attention, but they wouldn't open their book to me to put a little bet on my man Higgsy. All right, let's continue on here with a few plays from the chat. Futon Bet says go over the team total for the Dolphins. Wow, look at that number, too. 30 points the Dolphins going to put up on the Jaguars here. Remember, Jaguars, they're still, right? We're always disappointed with the Jaguars when the game always starts and it's halfway through and they're struggling to move the ball or whatever. But they're one of the best teams, even if they've never reach what they've what the goals are, right? They've gotten to some big games. They're still pretty good when you got a quarterback like Lawrence. Yeah, you could even say that Lawrence has underachieved in his career. I think we all agree with that. But you'd take him over more than half the league for sure. And even more than that. So Nuke talking about, there will always be some weather in Florida in September. So if we see any delay here, I haven't checked the weather too heavily actually in there, but you got some rain, right? If you ever have a game that's going to be some kind of postponed here. Ray says go over here in this one. All right, that's it for you guys on this game. And I'm taking the Jaguars here. I have a premium pick in this one, and, you could just check it out. I mean, it's very affordably priced. It's not even a real price, I guess is what I want to say. You can go over there and get signed up with me, grandfather you in real cheap. I'm just hustling a little bit, getting started here at Sports Money, and this is where I want to be. So please join me there, and that's how you support me to keep coming here on the show. All right. Even though Mike promised me grandiose things one day, we'll be riding from a big-time studio in Las Vegas with big windows, lights, and scoreboards and all that. That's what Mike said. All right. There's the Steelers and the Falcons. Another one here for me, right, where I'm probably going to be wanting to go with a dog. Look, I mean, I understand we've got Kirk Cousins, but you think the Falcons are really going to clean up all that mess right now just because you brought in back Raheem Morris? Hey, probably a pretty good hire. guy with some experience. Atlanta never really goes in that direction, and maybe he can put it back together. He's got a terrible record. Raheem Morris in his career as an NFL coach, 21-38. Now you're going to trust to be a 4-point favorite over Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. Yeah, Steelers got a lot to work on and figure out. And I don't know if I even want Russell Wilson long term here, but he's not a long term. He's the here and the now, right? Maybe this situation will be better for Russell Wilson. It feels like it could be a better situation. It feels like the Steelers are a little bit more Seahawk-like than Bronco-like, right? And you're always going to rely on that Steeler philosophy, whereas maybe the Broncos, they trying to do things they weren't really capable of doing at that point. Wilson had everyone agreed. He did look a little bit better that second season, but again, almost just a game manager here nowadays to a certain extent. And that's just too many points. I mean, come on, 4 points without the Atlanta Falcons. What are we talking about here? And again, total 42 there. I think you're going to see mostly professionals here going under for the most part, but I'm going to probably ride with the Steelers here as my pick here on the show, getting 4 points. I mean, I'm going to love points all the time here in this one. And don't forget, you got, Smith is on the Steelers now. Don't forget, he's their offensive coordinator. So he wasn't great with the Falcons either, obviously. But, Daddy got him a job, and now here he is with the Steelers. Steelers are terrific as a road underdog. I don't need to sell you on that. 22-12 over the last 7 years as a road underdog. You're always going to get your money's worth, it feels like, with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. The Falcons is a home favorite, 4-13-1 the last 4 seasons. So I've got to grab the plus the points here with the Steelers. Steelers have won the last 4 meetings with Atlanta, but you got an interconference game here. Last time they Falcons won against the Steelers was 15 or 16 years ago in the series. So Steelers have won 8 of the last 10 here. I don't think those are big factors here. We're dealing with the here and the now. I'm taking 4 points for sure with the Steelers. If the Falcons win by more than 4, we'll be talking. The narrative will change, it feels like, for Atlanta. And do we really think that? Look, I would hope that they get good quarterback play here moving forward. But remember, they got a goofy situation there right now, too. Not that that's going to weigh anything on Kirk Cousins. He's your man here, obviously. But, they've got Penix and whatever's going on and whatever the decisions were made, that doesn't look like a great situation for it. Like, right, what are we wasting our draft picks with? All right, well, that's not about today's game. Let's see what you guys have here with the Falcons and the Steelers today. Here's Ray going under in this game, and Dre says he'll lay it. He'll lay Atlanta here and take the under. Thomas is with me. Take the Steelers. Art Thompson's on the Steelers. Luis will lay it with Atlanta. I guess it could be a different story for Atlanta this year. As bad as they've been here over the last 20-plus years, maybe this is the year they're going to turn it around in Atlanta. Here's Steelers for Super True Story stepping in again here today. Here's Sports Money. And I hope Sports Money actually didn't see the yesterday. He said he did, but I called this channel the old channel, and boy, was that embarrassing. It was like the 6th word out of my mouth. But after you do things for 3 years, I get 2.5, whatever it is. All right, here's Steelers here for Darren. He'll take it with me. And Joe T. See, I can say this now. Joe T. put this on my other show. I was like, oh, man, the F you're under play of the day. And, Joe and I, we're never going to get along when it comes to totals. But we have a certain kinship already, Joe and I. So thank you, Joe. And maybe Joe and I feel like we're going to be working on something here on Sports Money. So thank you, Joe. And he's got, remember, the community tab here on YouTube is where you can find all of Joe's important information for basically his best plays right now. And we're working on some stuff with Joe. Thank you, Joe. All right, a few more. And nope, I think that's it for that. I'm taking the Steelers in this one. Again, just not trusting the Falcons that they've just completely gone. Let's just start beating teams by 5 points in the season opener. No, I don't think so. Good games today, good matchups here. Let's keep it rolling with the Vikings taking on the Giants here in this one. And yeah, we've got some issues with these two teams certainly right now with Minnesota. You're hoping that you can do it with Sam Darnold. And, look, that's what the Vikings had to do. That's the direction they have to go here right now, given the situation. Doesn't feel great, but at least you got a veteran in there. And I still like, Coach O'Connell here. I'm a fan of his, and I think he is a pretty decent NFL coach. But on the road here, season opener, listen, teams are going to be, really mediocre for sure. And you got Danny Dimes, and I would think he'll continue to be serviceable here, but nothing spectacular, I wouldn't think, for Daniel Jones coming into this one. And you want to lay a point with the Vikings, this one's going to have some volatility, so the free play is going to be on the side. I do like the total, I think, here in this one, but I'm going to try to squeeze in with the Giants here to win the season opener. I don't think that we can see a Vikings team maybe go in on the road. I figure this probably will be a last possession game. The Vikings actually could have a hope to win this one late, or vice versa. Might be a matter of, can we see a clutch play at a given moment? But for Darno, you're going to trust a guy who basically, is not a winning quarterback and go on the road and win a game. 21-35 in his career as a starter. Minnesota, they've 7-0 against the spread 0-7 against the spread in their last 7 years in road openers. So usually they open on the road in week 2. They're a team that opens the season at home, but really we got to get out, got to get these dome teams going. Well, not dome teams, not with the Vikings anymore, but you got to get these cold weather teams, on the road in some of these cities that get colder. Play the home games in the north early and then move them south, I guess is what I mean to say. So for Minnesota, it's a little consistent program that they got going there right now, but Giants still with their coaching situation too with Daboll. I don't trust them necessarily to win any big games, but they're going to have to win one here. I'm going to take the Giants. Minnesota's won 4 out of the last 5 in this series. Giants won a playoff game just 2 years ago between these teams, believe it or not, 31-24. The Vikings haven't been here in New Jersey in 5 years. So just going to take the Giants here at home, even getting a point. I'll just take them on the money line, whatever. Giants to win. This game probably have some volatility. Let's get some comments from the chat and see if anybody likes this one. Vikings and Giants today. Art Tomps on the Giants. Tariq going under. Luis likes the Giants. Rayoline Giants. Super True Story going to be on the Vikings here. Luis taking the under here. And Thomas says there's been enough information for him. The Giants is a consensus play. That makes me feel better that you guys kind of riding with them. Hopefully it's not just because of my influence. I don't think it ever would be. You guys are your own chat member handicappers. Trey on the Giants. And Jermaine says, what about these, week 1 coaching records? Yeah, Jermaine is always so specific on those. I don't want to hold up anybody's time. I might actually have that here. And that's right. The Vikings, you still got the receivers there, but you do have Darnold, right? So Darren on the Vikings here in this one. All right. The Giants have won. They've lost their season opener in 11 of the last 13 seasons. And those games that they won, they only won both those by just 1 point. So they don't start off very well, I'll tell you that. And I don't have Daboll right now, Jermaine, but the Giants are really weak in season openers. And like I said, the Vikings are very weak in their first road game of the season over the last several years. So, all right, give me the Giants here in this one. I've got 3 sides so far on the morning's team. How about that? Panthers and Saints. And here you go again with maybe another hook, right? Oh boy, I guess the Saints are just going to go out and beat up on the Panthers. Yeah, the Panthers are, looking to still improve. Doesn't feel like they've made that next step. But here in this game, professional handicappers are heavy on the Panthers, quite frankly. They're very popular in some of those contests as well that I've seen. Panthers are a pretty heavy pick by those contest players, especially the successful ones. And I think it'll probably has to do with division teams getting more than a field goal, even on the road, especially on the road. Division teams on the road getting more than a field goal. We know division games are always going to be, there's only 3 of them, I think, this weekend. So here, I don't know. It looks like you're going to trust the Saints all of a sudden to get a number, even against the Panthers. And yeah, these 2 teams play some gritty games here over the last few years because Saints haven't been doing too much. Certainly, they have missed the playoffs the last 3 seasons. Saints are just 6-8 against the spread as a home favorite, 1-9 against the spread. Jermaine, in week 1 over the last 10 years are the New Orleans Saints, 1-8 against the spread at home. In home openers. Some of them have been first week, some of them second week. It's really almost a continuation of just poor spread record over the first couple weeks of the season when it comes to the New Orleans Saints. Carolina, they're terrible as a road underdog, and they're getting more than this sometimes, 7-15-1 against the spread. But remember, this is a division game. I think that's what makes me feel more important. I can't sell you on many of the numbers because you got Bryce Young, who's he's crummy. He's got a terrible record right now. Pressure's on a little bit maybe for Bryce, but 2-14, I think. 2-15, 2-14 as a starter for Bryce Young. And Derek Carr, there's no solution here with Derek Carr, right? There's not going to be, hey, maybe he'll still cut out the mistakes soon and get better. You're going to get what you get with Derek Carr. So Panthers have lost 7 of the last 9 trips into here. Last 6 meetings between these 2 have gone under here, and that's where I'm going. Come on, I'm going under here in this one with the Panthers and the Saints. This is going to be a pretty popular play with handicappers going under in this game. It feels like to me that's where I'm headed. I'm taking under in this game with the Panthers and the Saints. I don't know if we can get into the 40s here again. I'm looking for all these games at least under the low 40s to actually finish closer. This is just a statement, but 36 to 39 points, quite frankly. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. I just think as a whole, the numbers are too high in the league this week. It's easy for me to say because I always have kind of the same philosophy week after week, but this week it's even more noticeable for someone like me. So let's see what you guys have here. Thomas starts us off. He'll take the Panthers with me. Luis will take the Panthers. Super True Story says, though, go over. You got Derek Carr. He's not going to stop throwing. Certainly got Bryce Young. He's bound to turn it around now after a couple of seasons, right? He'll be better here soon. Here's Ray. He'll go over. Irish King says Panthers and over. Jermaine Dennis Allen knows this Panthers team. He can beat them. And yeah, well, there's a piece of work, right? And Trey going over in this one. Super True says, you know what? Bryce Young may just start to get it going. There's Katie Wynn in the chat. Nice to see you. Thank you. And Jermaine, not trusting the Panthers. I don't trust them either, but I don't trust the Saints. And I'm might be getting a little hook. Is there even some 4s out there at all? No. Yeah, there are. Yeah. The books here in Vegas, my app books are on 4. So, and look, don't buy points. But in the NFL, buy points, folks. Buy the 4s and 3s. You know it all. I mean, come on. You want to win these bets. uh, I know that again NFL. I'm going to piece together bets around a spread. That's a philosophy I've talked about over the couple of years here on the show. You don't want to sit there and your one bet is a 3 or whatever. Take a little points, lay more, lay less. Just put all your money around there. This is too important in the NFL. I get it. Baseball, just fire away. You're not too worried. We're dealing with single digit scores or whatever. NFL, you better have a little hook on there. So, all right. Twisted with the Panthers too. Dustin with the Panthers here. Tariq's leaning to the Panthers. Katie does like New Orleans here in this one. All right. Let's continue on here, I think, with our games. I'm taking a little easier today, relaxing a little bit after yesterday's high-paced show. And we've got the Bengals here this is the big spread of the day here with the Bengals. This is the most popular selection in the Survivor contest. Yeah, there's some pivots out there, certainly, to some teams like New Orleans a little bit. Buffalo is the second hottest team in the Survivors. The Seahawks maybe getting overlooked a little bit on the Survivors given their larger spread here at this point, but the Bengals are head and shoulders a team. They're probably not the best pick for the Survivor looking at the weeks down the line, but everybody kind of wanted to start off with a win, and they hope they get this one here at -8. So just in case you're in some of those, you've already made your pick. I know that, but they are the popular choice, and they're the biggest spread. So that I'm not going to say anything too alarming here. Even this one, though, does feel like the Bengals. We woke up. I spoke to Jamar Chase on the phone. He said he's feeling pretty good. The reports are he feels better today when he woke up. And I guess the plans going forward. We're here on the air, and maybe we'll get the Schefter report. I probably should have Schefter lined up here right now in a tweet deck so I can give you the best information here. That seems like an oversight on my part, quite frankly. But the report said, I think it was actually Pelissero maybe that said it, but felt better. So the Bengals do need a little bit of help. The talk has been about the wide receivers not quite healthy here coming into this one. Fortunately, they're playing the Patriots today. And how will the Patriots, can they get anything going here moving forward now with Mayo as the coach? Didn't seem to be any indication in the preseason. And Jacoby Brissett just looks like he doesn't even want to be there. Just looks like they have the wrong quarterback in there to a certain extent. You're going up against Joey B here. I leave it at 8. It's 7.5. At most spots, mostly because of what we've seen here with that injury report. So I would expect the Patriots with Mayo to be defensive oriented if they weren't already. And my pick's going to be on the under in this game with the Bengals and the Patriots here. What will the Patriots actually do against the Bengals offensively? It does look like the Patriots could be as bad as everybody thinks they are. So I'm not going to beat it into the ground. But last 4 years, the Patriots 9-12 against the spread on the road as an underdog. Bengals last 2 years 9-3-2 against the spread as a home favorite. Last 8 years, Bengals just 2-6 against the spread in home openers, including 0-5 as a favorite against the spread. So I'm going to end up on the under here. The sides actually feels a little bit, this feels like it's actually the toughest spread to me. And I'm always apt to take a touchdown here, but maybe not with the Patriots. Probably I'll find my way to the Patriots somehow in, I don't know, a super teaser or something. Who knows? So, look, you got, Coach Taylor here on the Bengals. I'm a pretty big fan of his, and we'll see with this offense against a team that's really going to have to bog you down if they're going to have any chance to win this game. I'm going to take the under here, and I'm not, I don't even think I'm going to give out a premium on the side here. This might be it for me here. Maybe I took the Bengals as my survivor pick. Probably, yeah, I did. I'll be square here. I'm not going to try to outthink anybody. I'm not. I've never won a survivor, so All right, let's take a look here and see. I think there will be some New England support here. Thomas Lewis on the Bengals. Super true story says, go ahead, lay those 5 points. First half, I think it's down to 4.5, maybe even some juiced fours here at this point with the news about the Bengals receiving core here. But like I said, news is good here this morning that we'll see. Let's see if we have an official update here on this one on Jamar Chase. It does list him here still as questionable. We know T. Higgins is out in this one, but remember, it's what are they? A quarterback makes your receivers better. You got, one of the best in the game, certainly in Joey B. R. Tom's on the Patriots, Ray's on the Patriots. Buy it up. Thank you, AOD, for stopping by. Bengals are pass for Twisted. Tariq says, take the Bengals in the first half. Nasty Nate says the Patriots will smash this one. Just take them on the money line here. It's going to be a big turnaround here for the Patriots. I'm hoping it is. I hope the Patriots can do something. It'd be a great story if Mayo could come in and, again, all we're looking for a turnaround here is I don't know, close to 500, I would guess, for the Patriots. Hey, did anybody check out that show with Coach Belichick and Peyton Manning? Wow, that's good. That's hot. That's good, top-notch show. They preview the Monday night game. It's not I don't know if I'd catch it every week, but I was watching it. And I don't know, Bill's magic on TV, man. No wonder he's got himself a 24-year-old girlfriend. All right. Tariq or AOD on the Cowboys. We'll get there. Trap God, thank you. And no, Jermaine, I'm probably still gonna try to tough it out here, maybe with the Patriots, but I don't think I would tell anybody about it. I would go just take the ticket, and then after it wins, I'd say, hey, see, Bengals here for Darren. And yeah, that's right, Thomas. A survivor, you pick one a week there, and you just try to get it right, and you can't use that team again. So there's a little bit of strategy when it comes to it, and I don't think taking the Bengals is the optimum strategy in it, but I'm not good at the survivor. I just gamble up. I want to say hello and welcome to Wandisimu here. Says each team to have a rushing joining us from Twitch. So thank you, Wandisimu, from joining us from Twitch. Running touchdown in each of the 1 p.m. games. That'd be 8 touchdowns, 1 for each team. I almost want to look at it here and see what's going on with that. It sounds fun. All right. And maybe Darren says 8's enough. I actually would try to get more points than that and try to find ways to build the Patriots into some teasers or something if I'm going to take them. I feel very uncomfortable with that game. All right. Nasty Nate says Patriots money line. You know he does right here. All right. Well, the Titans are going to take on the Bears here. The Bears a 3.5-point favorite. We all want to see, how it goes with their rookie quarterback here. You have a rookie quarterback laying 3.5 points. You ain't making any money over the years. You have rookie quarterbacks, period. You're not making any money. And you're going up against the Titans program. Yeah, things were down last year, no doubt. But I kind of, trust their system a little bit to, kind of bounce it back here a little bit. They've got at least a consistent organization. They didn't change anything within the organization despite, a little bit of rough and tumble season here a little. Well, I don't mean it like that necessarily. I just mean the philosophy of the Titans. They have an all new coaching staff, but the consistency in the way they perform year in and year out. I think maybe it was a reflection of that previous coaching staff, but nonetheless, I think my attention is focused more on that rookie quarterbacks struggle like they do. I mean, they just don't cover numbers. It's tough enough just to win games. Since 2003, number 1 picks are 0-14-1 straight up and 1-14 against the spread in their first start. Number 1 picks, quarterbacks taken number 1 overall, 1-14 against the spread in the last 21 years in their first start. And you got to lay that hook. So probably not really interested in the Bears covering it. Maybe he will be. Maybe this man certainly looks great in the little action that we saw. Personally, I think my stock arrow is a little bit down on Williams just because everyone is so high on him. And I hope he does well. And I hope that this is real for the Bears. The Bears need something like this. Look, the Bears are probably overlooked. They've got a good defense. They've improved their receivers dramatically. It's all in place for the Bears to be dramatically improved, but they're still the Bears. It just doesn't feel until we see it. I just don't know if I can get right on board and trust it. And look at that total, 44.5. The Titans come on. I'm on the under here. I feel like it's almost a premium for me in this game. I want the under here for sure in this game. Look, I'm a Will Levis kind of guy. Okay, that's I think we've been pretty successful with Levis for the most part. Yeah, he's 3-6 as a starter, but we've been on him on the right times, it feels like here. Anybody's been rolling with me on the show over the years. The last 7 years, whatever's been going on for the Titans in their games, the underdog always comes through 7-0 against the spread in week 1 games. Now, it hasn't always been the Titans. They're just involved in close games, really, is what it is. Tennessee, in the Jermaine Conley week 1 statistics category, they're 8-3 against the spread in their road openers. They're also 28-16 against the spread as a road underdog. Titans have gone under in 5 straight season openers. I'm going under. This total is too high. Again, another one I feel like at 44. I'll even take it down to 44. I don't know if 44.5 is the consensus number right now, but I've got the under here with the Titans and the Bears today for sure, quite frankly. And let's see if you guys in the chat like this one. I'm excited for the Bears. I hope they get it done. I hope they look great. Let's take a look here with lots of Titans, man. Ray's on the Titans. He got them at a better price than this. Hey, woo, RZA. Woo Rizza. Titans, thank you, Woo. Good to have you. Darren, Titans, Moneyline. Luis, Titans. This is going to be Titan consensus, it feels like. Wow. Let's see here. We got Thomas on the Bears. There's a Bears vote from Thomas, but here's Robert on the Titans with me. And thank you, Thomas. Thank you. I know it was maybe a little bit difficult. I didn't really give I didn't give a lot of notice here, but I couldn't give a lot of notice. So thank you for finding me here. And thank you to 150 here. I mean, these shows are getting more, quite frankly, more views than that other show, thanks to Mike's efforts here. And if what I told Mike, if you compare the number of views of the show compared to the number of subscribers, to me, it didn't matter. That is a great channel over there, but this is good too, man. And we got such a high concentration of our followers, the people who are subscribed, watching the show and also out on X and Twitter. Thank you so much, everybody, for making me feel comfortable here at the Morning Steam on Sports Money. And Juan DeSimo's got some props here in there. It looks like, is that a parlay prop? Awesome. Titans for Tariq. Super true. Why is that? Why are all the totals set so high? Maybe this is about to be a record-setting season for points. Offenses are going to go through the roof. By the way, I tried to tout the dynamic kickoff rule, right? Saying, hey, remember, I have an interview on my X timeline. You could X, put a search in there, maybe Ramon Scott, Danny Mitchell. I talked to a man who was with the Vienna Vikings and his team over there in the European Football League. They ran this special kickoff. It's part to see how it goes, and they were successful at it. But the rule is just broken because they're not putting the ball out far enough. They're going to have to move it out 5 yards further to make this effective. They're right back to the same percentages. The throw it out the window. What they were doing in the preseason, everybody was experimenting. Kickoffs. We'll see today. It's only been 2 games, so we'll see. But to me, it looks like the squib kick to the pylon's the way to go. Trap that guy in there, and it's a zone. It's a landing zone, but it hasn't worked out. And is it just me, or when the dynamic kickoff happens, right? You kick the ball off, and you got to go and wait for it to get caught, and then everybody can. That's how the fans are like too. That's how I am when I'm watching the game. I freeze and then wait for the ball to be caught. Okay, any more here? I see just some comments here, but I'm not seeing if it's any picks here into the game. It is a consensus play. And look, Thomas wants to switch. Thomas, hey, stick to your guns, Thomas, here. But look, Tennessee's a consensus play here today. Wow. All right. I'm giving out the under here on the show, but I'll tell you this: I'm in a couple of those contests. You pick the games and try to. I've got them. I've got Tennessee in there for sure. Dre on the Bears, however, and Thomas says he's taking the Titans here to score at least 20. The Bears running game to get at least 20. It's duly noted. And what's this? Definitely both teams to score 20 for Irish King. Wow, you guys really like this offensive matchup here with my man Will Levis. And I will say this, the Tennessee Titans are one of the most popular plays among professional handicappers today for sure, if not the most. So Juan Disamu says, why did they change it? With safety, when you have these athletes nowadays running down the field, more injuries happened on kickoffs than any other play. The concussion type injuries as well because of the speed involved. So when you moved them all downfield and just kept them within 5 yards now, takes away those guys coming in at 17 miles an hour full speed down the field to hit the ball carrier, hit the blockers or whatever. So it really is a safety issue. And one player today, I was wrong on this one too. I thought more players would wear the Guardian cap helmet protectors in the regular season, but it doesn't look like that is going to be the case at all. But one player is wearing it. I believe just one. I believe he's a Titans lineman. And I think more will. I think more will eventually wear that. So we'll see. That was just a report that one player said, I'm going to wear it. And I think it's just one of those where, not like when the pitcher, remember when the pitcher had that Mario Kart hat on for the Mets? That didn't work out, but I think this may be something that we're going to see more of. I'll still stick by that one a little bit. And again, the kickoff rule, they do need to fix it. They need to penalize 5 more yards there for the offense. Take them all the way out 5 more yards on that. All right, Nasty Nate says teaser here with the Titans. Can't wait. Look, we're not going to go 2 hours a day because I can get all my teasers in. Right. Dustin, you know what? You get jammers up there. You get blockers up early. Remember those teams? I'm just going off what I've spoken to coaches with. I'm not telling you how it is. I don't know, but I know what he said. And the punt, you're right up on the line of scrimmage together. The contact starts right there. Yeah, this man is a little bit at liberty there, but you also have the fair catch protection rule. So, okay. Thanks for listening to that. And here we go. Another game here. Cardinals and the Bills. The Cardinals are also a pretty popular play today among professional handicappers. A little bit of steam coming in, more WNBA steam. That's all we're hearing from, it feels like today. Connecticut Sun, Los Angeles Sparks. Game to go. Over 159 is the move right now. Steam coming in. Sun and Sparks tonight on our 5-game card. Just some steam, not a play just yet, but just want to report that to you in case you were interested in taking the over. It's going up right now to 160 or higher. Sun versus Sparks. All right, you got the Bills here. Pretty big favorite here, but the Cardinals, man, they've got Mr. Backdoor Cover, Kyler Murray here, so probably just no way am I going to be too interested here in laying points with Buffalo. as strong as they might be in a matchup over the Cards. We know Buffalo does have some struggles sometimes against the spread, laying big numbers, but Arizona here 4-1 against the spread in week 1 the last 5 seasons, 20-11-1 last 32 games against the spread as an underdog. They're always getting enough points, it feels like. And Kyler Murray, you got the man you want when you're down 10, you're down 14, 13, well, hopefully 13 here. You only get 6.5, but you know what I mean? You got Kyler Murray. He's the king of this, it feels like. Also here, Arizona under in 5 of their last 6 home openers for Buffalo here at home. They do pretty well in these home openers. They also cover pretty well against NFC competition. But a lot of times when you're up against these interleague games, it is more of a crapshoot, quite frankly. I know division games. I know what I said there about division games, but still, sometimes you overlook these. In the home opener, maybe you don't. I always like a lot of preparation, no matter what the circumstances are. The Cardinals, of course, are legendary. I will say legendary franchise. They're an old franchise going back to St. Louis. The Cardinals have not won in Buffalo since I was 3 years old, and I'm 55. So, go there all the time. But Cardinals, whether St. Louis, Arizona, the last win they had, and the only win they've ever had in Buffalo was in 1971. All right. I'm going to end up here. Let me see what my show. The under is my play. 46.5. Again, I'm just looking the same thing here for me. Oh, look, I mean, you got Josh Allen. I get it. But, he still has some issues here to a certain extent. And we heard is it a toxic environment in Buffalo? I think maybe who's got the it was toxic. I think there's a word in there I'm trying to say. And like I said, for Kyler Murray, he's the man to get you staying there. And again, that does lean to possible over here, but not at 46.5, please. I've got the under as my play here on the morning steam. It feels like there's a lot of quirky stats that would support an under here, actually, between these two. Let's see if I can maybe break into it a little bit on some of these. But basically, when you get these non-conference games, it just tend to be under. So, all right. See what you guys got in the chat here. Cardinals and Bills in this one. We're going to roll here with R. Thomas is going to be on the Cardinals. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate that. Here's Thomas on the Cardinals. Robert on the Cardinals. Cardinals are going to be pretty popular among handicappers here today, among professional handicappers here. See if I can get rid of this spam. Big Show. Nasty Nate help there. I can't get that Twitch comment off. For some reason, I can't control the Twitch comments. All right, here's a prop here for Robert Franklin. Dougie Wise is here today, member of the Sports Channel family, likes the Colts for his play. We're off that game, but I want to mention him in there. Thomas says, give me the Arizona points. Yeah, I think they do have decent skill guys, right? So that's another thing. Look, we're always going to, throw the Cardinals in the barrel by the end of the season, it looks like, but they always should be better, shouldn't they? Joe T says he wants to lean to the over here. And hey, you know what, Joe? I actually would take the over in this game if the total was 39. What is it, right? What do I have listed here? 46.5. It was as high as 48. Here, I believe, earlier in the betting cycle. Now we're also seeing down to I'm gonna 46 it here in a minute. We're down to 46 at several of the sharp books right now. I've got the under here in this one. All right, Thomas says it is a consensus play here, though. Take those points with Arizona. That that falls right in line with industry experts. My survey had 32 handicappers on Arizona and 8 on the Bills. That's a 4-to-1 ratio, professional handicappers. And we're out there selling picks on those sites, on Telegram channels, I look at the service platforms. That's where I get a lot of my data for that statistic. There are places out there, believe it or not, that will actually tell you, all those professional handicappers that kind of share all the picks. I don't know if I'm telling you. This is an industry secret I'm not supposed to tell about. On here I can. And you can go to some forums and see all the plays from all the famous cappers that you know. And that's kind of what I do. I want to know what people are on. I don't just tail them or anything. I just want to know what the industry average is, the consensus. All right. I'll move on to the next one. I've got the under as my play there, right? Yep, under it is. We're still here in the morning block. There's that Colts game, the Texans and the Colts. How about it with these two? We get to see, Richardson. To me, got to see way more. Got to see him healthy. Got to get back. I'm not ready to just say just because he is healthy, he's going to be what we saw in those, glimpses of play that we saw from him. It looked good, but it also looked a bit reckless to a certain extent. You can't have that really if you're the Colts. So, and for the Texans, what's wrong with this picture is what it feels like to me, right? Why aren't the Texans, talk about teams that have the same coaching staff together and all that. Why aren't the Texans here highly regarded kind of going into this season, it feels like, with this quarterback, with his receivers back healthy? Remember, every receiver pretty much got knocked out by the end of the season for the Texans, it felt like. Good receivers, good young receivers that were just starting to make a name for themselves. Tank Dell and the like, and these guys. So it does feel like the Texans are being a little bit dissed here. Not necessarily in this game, though, as a 3-point favorite. This is the only road favorite of the day here, if I'm not mistaken, with the Texans -3 on the road. Now, the Colts do have issues here. They're a Jermaine Conley special. They're 1-8-1 against the spread in their season openers in week 1, the last 10 seasons, and they've gone 0-9-1 straight up. So it is a little bit clunky here for sure. The Colts are just 3-8-1 in division games against the spread their last 12 opportunities. So for Richardson here, he's only made 4 starts in his career. And meanwhile, you've got, certainly for Stroud, one of the best in the game. I mean, it's not like this man's going to regress, it feels like to me. I think everybody knows my affinity for C.J. Stroud as a total man out there. I mean, this guy is the next. If you didn't already think he wasn't one of the best quarterbacks in the league, well, just wait till this year is what it feels like with C.J. Stroud. I don't think it's any fluke here necessarily. Now, Texans have gone under in 7 of their last 9 home openers. Texans won the last 2 trips here into Indy, 32-21, 23-19. So it is tough though here to still want to lay some points. I mean, if I'm a man who loves a home dog in the NFL, and so this is the only chance you're going to get. And maybe the Colts are being disrespected a little bit. They haven't looked good. The prospects aren't really that great for the Colts either. We're talking about how the general public, I think, thinks about the Colts heading into the season. Maybe they will be a little bit better than anticipated coming in to this season. But for me, I've got another under here in this one at 49. Now, if it was, I tell you this, if it was maybe 45-ish like it should be, I might go over in this one. This one is a game where I think the over is in play, but at 49, I'm not taking it. No way, no how. I'm going to be under. Yeah, maybe it'll be, 28-21. That's still that's still 49. 28-24. You're going to get that kind of game here. Is Richardson going to come out and, light this up against the Texans team that, Stroud's awesome. Those receivers are awesome. They're going to be better, even better than this. But they've got some defense too. Remember, Houston's been kind of a defensive, stalwart club. So I'm on the under in this one for sure. I love C.J. Stroud, and I'll be taking overs, I hope, with Stroud. But at home, maybe here. So I know we're on a fast track. We're indoors, all that. It'll flirt with it, I'm sure. I'm only making a free play here. I'm not making it a premium, but I'm going to be on the under as my play here on the show. And I don't know if you get one chance for a home dog. This is it. You don't get very many in the NFL week 1, I guess. Here we go. With Thomas is on the Colts here. Robert Franklin's going to take Texans. Luis is on the Colts. And look at Dougie. He says this Colts offensive line will take advantage of that Texans defense. If the Colts get a run game going, they will be better than people expect this year, right? That's what it feels like. R. Tomps likes the Texans here. Dre likes the Colts. And Jermaine says the Colts own the Texans. Houston is 2. They actually had a tie, I think, these two. I think it's 2-1-1 in the last 4 meetings. Houston here. Remember, they won the last 2 meetings, and then one was a tie. Okay, Texans here for Tariq. Robert says take Richardson's running prop over. Jermaine likes the Colts team total over. Nice. And Thomas says, yeah, he likes that fast track in Indy. And Stroud has proven to be a top 10 quarterback. Yeah, you could divide that in half. T-Bird, my man, I've got him as a top 5. He's only going to get better this season. I think, like I said, remember that receiving core was decimated with those injuries last year, and he still was coming through. And Jermaine says he does. I think he's saying, yes, I think so. Richardson different. I think Jermaine's saying he thinks that Richardson will be that man. If he is that man that we saw, that we have seen when he's on the field, I would say he will be spectacular. He will be a little bit clutch, and he'll probably get injured. It looks to me like he doesn't have maybe that's what you want to grasp too when you're maturing as a quarterback, right? That's the one thing that sometimes guys can start to control a little bit. You try to do too much, and that's where he's gotten crushed, right? It wasn't just the injury. He was getting crushed before that, kind of taking chances. And it felt like, man, this guy's going to get killed. And then he got killed. So, and Dougie loves that Colts offensive line. If the Colts offensive line can come through, man, the Colts will not be what people are kind of touting here as one of the more poor teams in the league right now. Right now, I'm showing professional handicappers 31 on the Colts coming into this one and 18 on the Texans. That's not quite a 2-to-1 ratio, but professional handicappers are on the Colts here. And I will say this, they also have a slight lean to the over here. Philly Eagle Flyer in this chat. That's awesome to have Philly Eagle Flyer here. Thank you, Philly Eagle Flyer, one of the best in the biz here. Thank you. And we'll preview some baseball. Not every game's going to make the cut today in baseball, that's for sure. All right, let's get to the afternoon action with my Chargers here. I still say it for San Diego. If you know, the San Diego Chargers here, a 3-point favorite. I'll say it again, San Diego. And hey, I didn't break up with the Chargers. They broke up with me, so I can say whatever I want when I make it rich here with all my great picks and all of your support with the Winnable app, sending me your contributions, your subscriptions, because Ramon's doing the show. I'm going to buy the Chargers and move back to San Diego, so click on the QR code, subscribe to my picks. Let's win today and move those Chargers back. We're going to build a beautiful stadium, and I'm going to move back to San Diego for the remaining years of my life and own the team. Let's go. Hey, we've got Jim Harbaugh here at quarterback. We've got Justin Herbert here at Jim Harbaugh quarterback. We got Jim Harbaugh as coach. He's practically the quarterback. Imagine if you're Justin Herbert, how excited he must have been. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't like Jim Harbaugh like half the people out there, but going to take my chances with Jim Harbaugh. I know everyone. Look, the Raiders are getting hyped up here. They're in LA. They're going to be the home team in this game. The Chargers are always the road team, you guys. The Chargers are the road team in LA. It doesn't matter. That's the problem with this team, right? But Jim Harbaugh's a cure-all, man. You're going to tell me you're going to take the Raiders combo in this, even with what all those fans going to play? Come on, man. You're going to take Gardner Minshew over Justin Herbert. You're going to take Antonio Pierce over Jim Harbaugh. Good on you, man. The Chargers, come on. The Chargers are going to beat these guys, aren't they? Now, I don't know if they can cover a 3-point spread, but I'm on the Chargers to win at least. My play is, you know what it is. It's on the under here. I don't know if this game could even reach 40 points right now. Herbert's going to have enough issues of his own right now trying to piece together with a little bit different aspect of a wide receiver core, but I trust Harbaugh to build something with Justin Herbert. I just do. He does what it takes, does Jim Harbaugh. I was surprised he took this job. I wouldn't want to work for the Spanos family, but maybe he's got just a big enough ego to think that he can just control it anyways. It doesn't matter who owns it. And the family's in a little bit of a argument anyways still. It's kind of not in a stewardship or anything, but who really is running the franchise. It's just Jim Harbaugh probably feels like running the franchise. So against the Raiders, look, I always said even Mark Davis can't screw up moving the team to Las Vegas, and that they should improve, but they haven't. They've, Antonio Pierce, great story. I hope he does well here with them, but I'm on the under as my play, but I think you get the feel for what I think here. I think the Chargers are being overlooked because they didn't look great in the preseason. They definitely have a little bit of turnover, player turnover issues, coming in, but they're doing it Harbaugh's way, and I would think that eventually it will work out, and I think the Chargers will be in position to improve. And maybe it's just optimism because of the misery of being a Chargers fan that I am, but this is the solution for the Chargers for sure. Jim Harbaugh moving forward. I'll stand on that, see how we do coming back to the end of this season. I think they will find a way possibly to get into it's tough with the Chiefs in the way, but I'm not worried about the Chiefs. I just need to get in and take care of these other goofball teams in the division. So Chargers today, hopefully they get this win, but I'm going to take the under here. Handicappers are clearly on the Raiders here. I'm showing 24 cappers that I like on the Raiders and 10 on the Chargers, but I think you got to feel what I'm doing here. I'm going to be a little bit contrarian in this one. Pick up my package over there at Winnable, but I've got the under here on the show. Let's see what you guys have in this one as we get rolling here. Raiders have won 4 of their last 5 season openers. Minshew just 15-22 as a starter overall. Vegas 19-11 as a road underdog, and 12-4-1 against the spread in their last 17 road openers. But Chargers have won their first game in 4 of the last 5 seasons. Jim Harbaugh, pretty good record as a head coach, man. Over 70% with those years with the 49ers. The Super Bowl appearance, obviously. Chargers are a dismal home favorite because of, you want them on the road. You want them getting points. All right. Ray going under here. Art Thompson on the Chargers and Dre on the Chargers. Also, let's see here. Hi to John Shaw. Saw him yesterday. Nice to see you today, John, over there in the UFC show. And Dougie, the autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 the Raiders. Dun, 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 dun. Broncos and the Seahawks. I can do this on this channel. I love it. All right, Broncos and the Seahawks here. The Seahawks coming in, the big favorite. What's going on here? They cleaned house. They got a new coach, and all of a sudden the Seahawks are scheduled to go to the Super Bowl here. What is this 6.5? Doing here right now. Now, I do think that maybe this will be a chance for the Seahawks to get a victory. And, well, I think maybe the growing pains here of the Broncos. Where do we stand right now with Bo Nix? He's a veteran to a certain extent, right? Even though he comes in making his first NFL start, 60 college starts in his career. Feels like he's been around forever. And I think most importantly, seriously here, named a captain of the team. You just don't do that, right, unless you have a little bit of chutzpah. Chutzpah a little bit. I think Bo Nix is probably the man here. Whether or not he goes on to be successful or above average NFL quarterback, let's see. And he'll be serviceable, certainly, especially with a man like Peyton. It feels like Peyton's terrific as an underdog, by the way. 34-2 against the spread for Sean Payton as a coach. But Denver here, 7-10 as a road underdog, 2-5 against the spread in their road openers last 7 years. For the Seahawks, they are 6-3 against the spread as home favorites. I think the Broncos will be good moving forward, but you have the rookie quarterback situation here against the Seahawks team. Mike McDonald, hype surrounding his arrival here to come in for Coach Carroll. So we'll see how it works out. But, Geno, he's 500 in his career so far. I do think the Seahawks, I just think maybe the situation favors the Seahawks. Maybe they could actually cover this spread. I know it's the NFL, and usually I'd be all over this, but I'm not sure right now. But anyways, I'm on the under here with a rookie quarterback going in his first game. Give me one more under here, if you will. It feels like to me, especially, I actually thought I was going to go premium here. I thought it would be a higher. I thought Bo Nix, everybody kind of get excited. It'd actually be a couple points higher, and I was going to go premium, but I think maybe the books were onto this one a little bit. I'm going to still go under here at 42. Let's see what you guys have here in the chat. Broncos and Seahawks in this one. And, oh, look at that. Wow, did the Chargers money line make a consent? I hope I didn't. I'll be here with egg on my face. I don't care how much. And we were eating good last night in college football. I don't know how much we can do today like we did yesterday. I'll be with egg on my face today, it feels like, in this one. Oh, man, look at Cameron Sinet's here. He wants to get with me here for the tennis today. Man, I can't wait for that. You're going to have to preempt the, CBS or the not CBS game. Remember, they used to have it on CBS. They have no AFC games in the afternoon because tennis was on, but we're on ESPN now, of course. And, of course, we're taking Fritz on the game spread, Cam. Let me get a sip of water. I'll be right back. All right, Luke. Thank you. Thank you. Thomas is on Denver. Here's Ray on the Broncos. And let's see here. Dre lean to Seattle. R. Tom's Seattle. Dougie Wise switching here. I think the longer that 6.5 marinates, it feels like, and the fact that really there aren't a lot of big spreads out there may make the Broncos look a little bit more attractive. R. Tom Seahawks, but Robert Franklin Broncos. And it's Mike McDonald, Thomas, Coach Carroll. Oh yeah, I got you. Let's see here. Dougie can't lay the touchdown here. Tariq says Denver. And I think Cam says take the money line. All right, my play's on the under. I've got another under here today on the show. And non-division games. Okay, let me see here. Non-division games right now. First game of the season, non-division games. And so it happens, a lot that are. I want to get this stat right. I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I can paraphrase it properly. Let me just move on to the next game here. It's an under trend, I'll tell you that. Okay, Commanders and the Bucks here in this one. You got another rookie quarterback going, so not great news for bettors here, but still getting 4 points against a Buccaneers team that, well, you got Baker, and he'll find a way not to cover a spread, won't he? I would think in this one. I'm hoping Jaden Daniels, I'm hoping for the best for him, man. I want to be a fan of him. I want him to succeed in the NFL, and I hope that it works out for Jaden Daniels for sure with the Commanders. And hey, getting 4 points, if he is anything what we saw, should be able to get this number against a Buccaneers team that you're not going to trust, I would think, as a favorite here. Now, we make fun of Baker, but hey, he's a winning quarterback in the NFL. 42-28 in his career. Washington's won 3 of the last 4 in the series, including the last 2 trips here into Tampa Bay. I'm going to end up here on the show taking the Washington Commanders plus these points. I want points here in week 1. Commanders 29-23-1 against the spread as road underdogs over the last 8 seasons or so. Washington here over in 4 of their last 5 home openers. It's always a different guy behind center for the Washington Commanders. Maybe this will finally be their man in Jaden Daniels. So I'm going to go with some points here. Buccaneers covering a spread doesn't feel real comfortable to me here. With Todd Bowles, they just are 3-6-2 against the spread as a home favorite. So Tampa Bay 6-10-1 to the under, last 17 at home. Here I'm going under as my I'm going with Washington. Just gave away the pick. I'm going with Washington here today. Washington pretty popular also among handicappers. I got 21 handicappers on Washington, 15 on the Bucks. Do you guys have anything here with the Commanders and the Bucks today? Let me know. With our Thomas will lay it with Tampa Bay. Thomas will take the Commanders. Robert Franklin will lay it here. And Old E says Baker to throw a pick. And Dougie says Commanders here in this one. Ray says go under here. Thanks, you guys. Good picks in the chat. Cowboys and Browns. And you got the Browns here a favorite against, well, look, we always want to make fun of the Cowboys, but if you kind of lumped all the seasons together, there's nobody better than the Cowboys as far as like regular season, right? They get it done and then they choke. So how will it work out today with the Browns at home as a favorite with, Watson? He doesn't feel like he even wants to be there half the time, right? He's not going to be good for cover any number here. It doesn't seem like against a Dallas team that, they're basically the kings of the regular season. Come on. Cowboys should probably go in and be able to win this game, I would think. Cleveland, they've won 2 straight season openers. That's big news. They were 121-1 straight up the previous 24 years before the last 2 years. So maybe with Watson, he's 8-4 with the Browns. So, we kind of make fun of him there a little bit and hasn't been able to really break through, but been winning some of the games here. Certainly these teams haven't met in 4 years. Browns won that one 49-38 in Dallas. Dallas has won the last 3 trips here into Cleveland, but that spans about almost 2 decades. So Browns here, they were 11-6 last year with all those quarterbacks that they had from, Flacco was in there last year. Had some Watson in there. Cleveland was 8-1 against the spread at home last year, including 6-0 as a favorite. So I don't trust them in this spot. I'm gonna buck that trend as much of a trend guy as I am. I want Dallas here. I want Dallas as a dog, and I'm not gonna want them as a favorite, is what it feels like with me this year. A Dallas 6-10 against the spread as a road underdog. So I can't sell you on some of these numbers actually, but they have covered 4 of their last 5 road openers here. I'm going to take Dallas plus the points, and I'm going to buy it to 3. I'm going to buy some 3.5 at minus 175 or 200, whatever it is. Just figure a close game here in this one today. Handicap is relatively mixed from what I've seen. Maybe they're leaning the Browns a little bit. Let's see what you have here, Cowboys and Browns on Sunday. With Ray Otachi does like the Cowboys here. Thomas likes his. Is it Thomas's Cleveland Browns here? He's worried about him getting hurt. Worried about Watson getting hurt. Dougie might lay it here with the Browns. The trends say Browns. I'll give you that. I'll give everybody that for sure. Trey does like Dallas here in this one. Tariq likes Dallas. Twisted likes Dallas. Terrell here, right? I guess I can kind of say it on this, right? So everyone comes from a different culture. I guess is the only way I can put that situation with Watson, right? Sometimes things are expected, and you don't realize that that's not how the world works. All right, Robert Dallas has got to be motivated after the game last year. Yep, no doubt about it. And pressure's always on Dallas. That's the other unfortunate thing, a little bit, but yeah, Dougie, I got you. Dallas. Look, they've got some of the best personnel in the league. There's just it's unquestionable, right? The Dallas will have one of the best teams in the league. It's just, can they ever get it done? Again, if you added up the last, what is it, 5, whatever, they have the best. They're the best regular season record. Dallas, if you add them all up over the last several seasons. So, all right, let's see. Thomas says Dallas Browns defense taking the under. Dallas offense not too good. I hope I read that right. I know what you're saying. They can be, Dak. Look, Dak is one of the best. We can't just say he is underachieving ever or anything like that. Yeah, we all make mistakes when he's hot. Man, he's hot. Thomas says Dallas is going to be a consensus play. Yeah. It is funny, right? Because it seems like the other running back always does well. Just stick with them here. I'm going to take Dallas as my play. Here we go. And consensus play here, Dallas. How about that? Okay, that's interesting. Interesting, actually. Hey, Res Doge dot. I don't know what this, but to me, when I just look at that, I mean, Res Doge dot ETH. So I see Dogecoin and Ethereum in that name. Okay. What do we got here now? The nightcap between the Rams and the Lions in this one. You got the Rams, a pretty big underdog here, 4.5, and the total, is it 52? What? This thing's going through the roof, 52.5. Now, this one certainly has a chance to get to that number, but I think it's still too high, technically, right? Yeah, it should be great, but the Lions do have pretty good defense. It's still only getting better, and we know the Lions are supposed to be ahead of the Rams here at this point, but you got the cool quarterback matchup here again with Stafford and Goff. Goff is a man, of course, when it comes to making money right now. We know that with some of his numbers currently, but let's see here. Campbell 9-4 against the spread as a home favorite right now. McVay 7-0 straight up in his road openers, including 5-2 against the spread coming in. So for me, I still think the number might be a little high, but I'm probably going to take the points with the Rams. Should be a good game here. And we have seen this spread move up from 3.5 up to 4.5. Most of it, I'm seeing 5 right now at Circa. So I don't want to lay 5 points with the Lions here. That doesn't feel very comfortable at all. Lions are great, we know that, but they actually are 1-4 of their last 5 week 1 openers here of late. And of course, Detroit beat the Rams in the playoffs last year in that incredible game by just 1 point. So, when you got a coach like McVay, I think he has a coaching edge over Dan Campbell, maybe not in the rah-rah category, but I think McVay has a coaching edge, X's and O's wise over the staff of the Lions here coming in. But 24-23, that thrilling game last year, I'm going to take the points in this one with the Rams as my play. And I'll probably just do something on that total. I haven't done much with it here, but man, getting 2 more points added onto it. Look, it may be 28-27. It may be 31-28. Maybe it will. All signs point to it. But the Rams, really, are they? I'm taking them here with the points, but are they really all that potent still on offense? With Stafford there. Look, he's 28-18 now with the Rams. They continue to look good, maybe almost defying their expectations sometimes. But I'll take the Rams here. Let's see what you guys have for Sunday Night Football in the chat. Thomas is on the Rams. Dougie's on the Rams. Ray does like it to go over. This is one game I actually was thinking about the over, but not at this number now. To me, an over in this game, if it was like what it should be realistically, if it wasn't a Sunday night game between the two top, maybe the best offensive matchup of the day, probably should be 49, honestly, on my power ratings. I'll adjust here. If all these games go over, maybe under, maybe I will go to the Joe T school. F you're under. All right. Over's a good play, says Dre. When is Stafford going to get – we've seen it, I think, Terrell, right, with the arm woes a little bit for Stafford. But he keeps coming back. So, okay, that's it for the NFL. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it. It's going to be an awesome day. I can't wait. Here, let's quickly get to – we're not in any rush, but I've got some Major League Baseball plays lined up for today on the show here, and maybe we'll get a package of premium together, send out some plays too. But man, I just can't wait for the NFL card to start. All right, let's go to some baseball. We won't talk about all the games, to be quite honest here. We will only talk about, you've got to have at least maybe a 30% chance to get into the playoffs to be able to get your game preview. But how about this one with the Rays here coming in against the Orioles and Corbin Burns here in this one. We had the Rays yesterday here on the show. Yeah, we went under in the game, but we took the Rays to knock them off yesterday. I think we're on the run line, but they still got it done here in this one. So let's take a look at the matchups here with the Rays. We're not going to dive in deep like we usually do with all the trends. We covered all that NFL. This is mostly going to be a picks show here in this one, and I'm going to be on the over here with the Rays and the Orioles with Littell and Corbin Burns here. Right now, the line sits at 7.5. And I'm starting to see some 8s here. Let me grade it at 8, but I think that's where the move is. So I feel good. I feel a bit good, even though I'm not getting the best of the line here, that the move is to the over here. Anyway, some widely reported steam came in on the over, and that's where I'm going today here in this one. Let me at least call up my notes. Maybe we could throw out a few of the trends that I like to cover here a little bit, or at least a little bit of the pitching, matchup, at least with these guys, right? With Littell, an ERA of 4.04 this season. Burns, for his 3.19 ERA, he has gone over in 16 of his 28 starts, 16, 8, and 4 to the over for Corbin Burns. So we've seen him go over despite him having still pretty decent numbers here. So I'm going to go over with the Rays. Thank you, Thomas, for the NFL plays here. Make sure you take a screenshot of that, everybody, if you want. Get those 5 plays in the NFL, and they did feel like consensus plays there. Thomas right on top of it. There. Ray likes the over here in this one with me. I would imagine when everybody focused on NFL, I won't get much baseball action from you. All right, we're going to skip a couple of games here skip the Washington-Pittsburgh. Also going to skip White Sox and Red Sox. I will note, Flexen's pitching. Remember now it's been, 21 in a row losses for the White Sox. Yeah, the Red Sox are minus 270, and they've just made a pitching change to Fitz, and didn't do too much research on Fitz, but we saw this coming. He was expected to be named the starter today. In fact, the starting pitching matchup is, it sounds like something you'd buy on Temu, Flexen Fitz. But nonetheless, Boston here, 270 with a first-time starter here, it looks like. And I'm not covering it. I'm not making a pick there. I just want to note that. But we're here with the next game here with the Braves. Certainly Pardon me. Let me get another drinky. All right. I'm ready. Um, Whit Merrifield, bad news, man. Whit Merrifield. Well, not bad news. They said Whit was going to miss extended time, but maybe they did a reevaluation of that foot injury, and maybe Merrifield can make it back here. The prognosis was grim, but maybe he will not be out for the remainder of the regular season, and he's just listed as questionable today. So maybe it could be a few days, maybe even a week here for Merrifield. But Travis Darno, he is out of the starting lineup here today for the Braves in this one. Widely reported steam did come in on the under here. You have Rodriguez going up against Chris Sale here. So I think for me, I'm going to end up on the under. Sale 11-14 to the under for Rodriguez. This is going to be a bullpen situation here for the Blue Jays, certainly. Rodriguez's numbers aren't very good, but he's just in there to get some outs and try to get them through. And I think maybe they will. But that total right now, it's 7.5 juice to the under now for sure. And I'm going under as my play with the Blue Jays and the Braves. All right, when you guys can put in some plays here as well. Fernando's on the under. Art Thompson's on the under. Philly Eagle Flyer with his plays in there. Thank you, Philly Eagle Flyer. And next up, we're whipping through these today, by the way. Phillies and the Marlins in this one. And you got Johnson here going for the Phillies and Cabrera for the Marlins. So get a look here at Johnson in this one, see how it goes here. So Philly a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Some steam. We've been quiet over here, steam machine. Okay, I'll pass this one along. I'm not sure I agree with it actually, but there is some steam right now. Nationals and Pirates over 7, or let's see, over 8. Looks like they're steaming this one here. So Phillies, Seth Johnson is going to make his major league debut here today for the Phillies. So look, I don't expect Johnson to be doing much here long term with the Phillies this season, but because he's had a prospect who's had injuries is basically what it's been for Johnson in his career. So he finally gets the opportunity here going up against Cabrera. Cabrera's got a 5.33 ERA. He's gone over in 10 of his 16 starts, 10-5-1 to the over here for Cabrera coming in. So for the Phillies, pretty big favorite here to be starting a rookie pitcher, but I probably would still want to go under here in this one. I feel like feels like the football games. I think we're gonna have all unders here in baseball. Maybe that's the way it's gonna be today, quite frankly. Especially, let me see the total here. Right now in this one is 8.5, pretty much 8.5 flat. The sharp books are juiced to the under, and the square books are juiced to the over. If that is any clue, I'm going to end up on the under here with the Phillies and the Marlins today. I'm on the under in pretty much every game in baseball, it feels like. Robert's going to go under here with me. And Terrell is comparing me here to, was it Michael Dukakis, possibly? I'm trying. Maybe it wasn't that long ago, right? All right, Fernando with a lean. He says the steam just came in on the over. That's fine with me. I'll take the discount. Philly Eagle Flyer says take the Phillies on the run line and the over. Keep it moving here with baseball picks. You got the Reds and the Mets. You got Severino here. Big number here. The steam came in on Severino here. And I don't know. I think I do want to lay the run line actually with the Mets here in Severino. That's Aguilar here pitching for the Reds here in this one. So, it's a pretty big price. It's a free play on the show. Probably wouldn't do it in the premium section, but Severino's been okay for sure. 3.84 ERA right now, and the Mets just 14-13 with him on the mound. But Aguilar so far, note the Reds have won all 4 of his starts so far this season, but he has big numbers: 6.48 ERA and a 275 batting average against here. So, but I think the Mets in this situation, I think the price might be okay on the run line. Quite frankly, I don't know if the Reds can continue this kind of run that they're on right now. We had the under yesterday as a premium pick winner in this matchup. I would imagine, again, maybe another under here, but let me give out a pick here with the Mets on the run line. Seems like they are pretty popular with handicappers today that are making bets in baseball. And maybe Fernando's on the Mets. Not much going on with you guys in the chat on these games. Here is that Twins and Royals game with Woods Richardson going up against Michael Wacha. Important matchup here again in this one. We had a winner here yesterday. We went with the under on the show. Another winner yesterday here with this one. You got Woods Richardson here in ERA just under 4 right now. The numbers have been going up a little bit steadily, but you still like Woods Richardson a little bit, his long-term prospects. Twins are 16-8 with Richardson on the mound. The Royals with Wacha, he's got a 3.5 ERA, and his numbers are just as solid here. We'll note this umpire is 5-0 to the over this season behind the plate. Doesn't have a lot of assignments, but they've all gone over. Royals won the first 2 games of this series. I'm going to think the Twins can grab one here. I'm going to take Minnesota today with Woods Richardson on the mound to avoid the sweep against the Royals. All right. Under for Fernando. Old E says Royals team total yesterday went over. Okay. Here we go, Yankees and Cubs. In this one you got Garrett Cole on the mound going up against Jamison Tyone. Yankees here $1.60 on the road. We skipped, by the way, the Mariners and the Cardinals. That went almost. I mean, you got to give the Mariners still their 10% chance, but doesn't feel good. So let's go with the Yankees and the Cubs here. Garrett Cole 3.65 ERA. Jamison Tyone 3.66 ERA so far this season. Cole's 6-3 here coming in to this one. And let's see here. I hate to scare you guys, but I think I'm going to have another under. This one's already moved here. It was 9.5. So that all right away, my radar shot up a little bit. Maybe that's where everybody's looking. But look, this one's 8.5. Man, maybe I had that typed in wrong. Yeah, okay. But they were 9 under 15s. That's what it was. And the Yankees are definitely $1.60 or so. So, all right, let me grade it right here. 8.5 under 15. I'm going under for sure, though, as my play with the Yankees and the Cubs here today. These pitchers don't necessarily trend under right now, but I think this will be a pitcher's matchup today in Chicago. You see that total drop in there a little bit. Yankees won the first 2 games of the series. We had the winner here yesterday on the under again. So we did have some winners in baseball, if anybody noticed yesterday. Not in the National League. We couldn't get any of the National League games right. Everything else we pretty much won on the show anyway. Anybody taking Yankees and Cubs? Good game today. Bad day to watch a baseball game, but Marco Rubio. That's right, Marco Rubio. He's got little hands, right? Ray is on the under here. Fernando might lean on the under. Terrell says, could they get shut out again? Robert says, what is the wind looking like? I was hoping nobody would ask. I do believe the wind is blowing in still, but not like it was the other day. But I didn't check the weather this morning like a let's see, here we go. I've got some weather forecast. I am showing it blowing out to left field, 8 miles an hour. How about that? Oh, thank you, friend. Right there. There he is. But I don't know. I think that look, there are some bats that could have some success against Garrett Cole. I get that, but I would think in his splits, Suzuki, Horner, these guys aren't going to be able to touch Cole. Swanson, probably not. I would think, and maybe the same holds true for Tyone, even though he's a little sketchier. But look, even Aaron Judge against Tyone, I didn't look at the head-to-heads, but the splits don't really match up there necessarily. Now the Yankees certainly should have a decent lineup against them, but that would be like I would think Soto would have a good matchup against Tyone. But I don't know about Judge has a good matchup with everybody, but Judge and Stanton, Tyone has his good stuff, can handle those guys anyway. I'll take the under in this one. Keep it going. We're almost done. I want to get done. I want to bet some teasers. I want to get some breakfast. And man, I can't wait. All right, Giants and Padres yesterday. Well, look, yesterday we had a winner on the show or I'm sorry, we didn't. We had the total under. We didn't win that, but I sent out the Giants yesterday on the free picks on the Winnable app, and I don't know. I might want to consider them here again today, but more likely I'm just going to take the under in this matchup with Bivens going here for the Giants, going up against Musgrove. For Bivens here, he's had one start. He's an opener for sure. The Giants will manage this, though, the way they do. So Musgrove, a 4 ERA so far, hasn't been overwhelming, but since he's come back from his injury hiatus, he has been quite strong, actually. So I'm going to go with the under here as my play. I know we skipped Detroit and Oakland. I know we skipped Angels and Rangers. I might send out some plays on those. They'll probably be on the free card. So sign up at Winnable with me to get all my information all day long. Going to send you some updates on Major League Baseball here while you're watching the football game. Maybe you want to drop something on and you didn't do handicapping. Well, I'm going to send you our picks and you can kind of weigh your own options, right? See if Ramon agrees. Art Thompson's on the Giants. Fernando's laying it with the Padres here. And I'm going under as my pick here on the show. I did skip the Rockies and the Brewers, and I don't think I meant to. Oh, let's see. And I don't think I meant to. Let me see here. Let me at least make a little graphic for the Rocky. We can't leave out my Brewers fans here in the chat, my buddies. So for the Rockies, you got Kyle Freeland here going in this one. Get out of my way. Going up against Freddie Peralta. I only know because I have a pick on it. I want to make sure I give it out. And the Brewers, 280. 7.5 under 15. There we go. Whoops. Graphics on the fly here. Knocking over the. There we go. Oh. Okay. So let me take a look at this one with the Rockies going up because I got another under, you guys. I got to be honest here. At 7.5 under 15. It was 8 just a little while ago, if I'm not mistaken. Now we're heading down to 7.5 under. So that's what kind of caught my eye. Anyways, why the reported steam did come in on the under, and that's where I'm going to go in this one with Freeland. He's got pretty rough numbers here, but still for Freeland, left-hander going up against the Brewers might be a bit dicey to a certain extent, but Peralta, 3.75 ERA so far. He's trended over, but I'm still going to be on the under in this one. Maybe it's a little bit contrarian even. Like I said, I feel like I've just got all unders today in Major League Baseball, but you guys got anything here? I just want to mention that game there. Let's see. Oh, great, Dustin. Boy, this guy can't. I'll follow up on that, but he was arrested today entering the stadium for a driving violation. So that doesn't sound great. Doesn't sound like there was anything for, like something crazy, like, he was drinking before the game or something like that. But to get arrested or get detained at least, like a kind of like a, with who's our guy? Scotty Scheffler, right? Uh, and Scotty Scheffler didn't even give the guy any grief really very much, but you've seen some situations where the driver, hey, I'm a player, get out of my way, don't you know who I am, type of thing, and that just doesn't fly, right? These guys think. Now, I'm not saying Tyreek and maybe he's by the stadium or whatever. Maybe the guy didn't know who he was and he was just being belligerent or whatever, but here's the thing: these athletes, they think everybody knows them, right? Not everybody does. We think of these sports guys, and still only sometimes 10 or 20% of the population might even know who these guys on seeing them face to face. So Fernando will go over, and he's our Brewers expert. I agree with this, Fernando, but again, I'm going to market read on this. The move is definitely to the under, and that's what my algorithm was saying as well. So I'm sticking with it here today, especially after we had such a good day yesterday. You're the man, Fernando. And Guardians taking on the Dodgers here late. I'm going to take the Guardians here in this one. Today, I'll take Cleveland. Oh, I didn't even have the lineup here, but I will right now. We tried them yesterday. We did send out the over on the free service on Winnable, and we gave out that over. It did come through. Right now, the Dodgers are $1.65. 8.5 over 20. I might even use the Cleveland here still in this one. I might want to take them again today and give them another chance with Tanner Bybee going up against Jack Flaherty. Here in this one, you got for Flaherty here. You got a 3.01 ERA. He's been pretty solid here for the Dodgers so far. He's got an 11-6 record this year. So does Tanner Bybee, actually, a 3.5 ERA. The Guardians are 20-7 with Bybee on the mound. So that does, get to my attention a little bit. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here, but we're still looking at 8.5. So I don't know if it will go over today, actually. I'm going to go with the Guardians here. I'm going to go with the Guardians as my play. That's what I'm going to do. What's the run line here? It might be a run line again for the Guardians. If it's anything under $1.50 or $1.60, I'll add the handicap here on a Sunday. And you guys can make a play. And we're going to pretty much end the show. Oh, we got some WNBA. Ray does go over here in this one. No, it doesn't look like we're getting any consensus here on baseball. So let's just finish it up with the night game here. Diamondbacks and Astros. You got Ryan Nelson here going up against was that Louis Varland? No, it's Justin Verlander here, of course. Verland. That's a cross between Verlander and Varland. And $1.50 here for the Astros, maybe down to $1.40, maybe even $1.35 here at some books. So it looks like a move here on the Diamondbacks. That's what I'm going to take probably. Yeah, I'm going to take the Diamondbacks in this one. That move looks pretty serious. I was already on the Diamondbacks for the most part. And actually, this one is probably the most popular play among handicappers today, quite frankly. The Diamondbacks on the road with Nelson, 4.15 ERA this season. Diamondbacks plus 10 units this season still. So as a dog, I'm probably willing to take them here. Astros are actually down 8 units this season as a team. So Verlander, 4-9 are the Astros with Verlander on the mound. So give me the Diamondbacks here as my play on the show as we wrap up the baseball picks. Here, our Thompson's on the Diamondbacks. So is Robert Franklin here. And that's going to do it for baseball. Let's run through some WNBA and then get out of here. Enjoy these football games. It's going to be awesome. Awesome day. The Lynx are at the Mystics in this one. You got the Lynx here, an 8-point favorite. Today, this one is, I believe, at 3 Eastern. Let me look at it here. 3 Eastern and noon Pacific time. Right now, I'm showing the Lynx are down to 7.5. Maybe the total right there. Yes, at 161. Washington, they're fighting right now with for that playoff berth. Look, if the Sky aren't out of it, Washington still trails the Sky by a game. They trail the Dream by a game. They're playing a tough team here. I would think we're still going to get a great effort from them. Minnesota, Yeah, they might be kind of locked in right now. They're 3 games back of the loss column of the Liberty. They are just 1 game ahead of the Sun, so it's still important, but all they have to do is win this game. Mystics playing about as good as they have. That's got to be the Tyreek Hill news on the, yep. That's got to be the Tyreek Hill news of the ESPN Bulletin. You guys got it right first here, breaking the news here with Hill. He will be expected to play, however, it does say in the game here today. So interesting that, okay, just reading a little bit. They're detained and released. It was not a booked or anything like that. Originally ESPN, and it's funny because you got Darlington breaking the news on that, and originally ESPN had the wrong graphic saying that he was arrested and released, but he was actually detained. So that's a big difference, you guys know. All right. Here, Lynx and Mystics. I'm on the Mystics for sure. They are alive in this playoff berth. They're playing as well as they have all year. You look at the personnel they have. I mean, they're not putting an awful lineup out there right now, and I think that's why they have played a lot better here late in the season. They were bogged down by some issues early on that, put them behind and got them off to kind of a woeful start. They're not going to do any damage in the postseason should they get there. And the matchup isn't great against the number 1 defense. But again, I just got to think the Lynx, they just have to win this game. So I will take the Mystics. Ariel Atkins, I believe, has a game time decision status here, but I'm going to grab the Mystics in this one. She is probable. Shakira Austin, though, is questionable. All right. Next up here. Oh, we got a few picks here maybe with R. Thompson, Washington. That looks like it. Next up here, the Aces and the Liberty. In this one, you got the Liberty, a 5-point favorite. 169.5 here so far. And, well, this one to me looks like, I talked about the Liberty and where they stand right now in the standings, in first place, a little bit cozy here, so to speak. But the Aces have not been great on the road. And maybe, if anything, the Aces position might be firmed up here. They are 2 games ahead of Seattle in the loss column, 2 games behind Connecticut in the loss column. So I don't know. I think for me, I would probably prefer to take New York here in this game, and probably over here. Let me take New York as my play. I'll save that over. I might actually send it out. Let me just check. Some action came in here on that over that does attract my attention. I might actually go premium there with that, but we'll see. Sign up at Winnable, and maybe you'll get that over there. So give me the Liberty, though, here to cover a spread today at -5 against the Aces. Look, the Aces definitely had some problems there for a big-time stretch. They got a few games back. They even covered some big numbers here, and they are a dog, but I'm going to take the Liberty here in this one. Lay 5 points. R. Tom's on the Aces here. All right, the Dream and the Fever. You got that. When you got that Fever Dream, I always like that. But, man, the Fever, it's not going to get any better, I guess, at 9.5 to 1 at this point. I'm going to have to take a bite of this Fever. I've got to take a shot with them. I'm not getting the best price anymore, but they're playing so well, man. It almost looks like they are playing on par with those other teams. Maybe not defensively, and maybe that will be the difference in the end. But I think that 8 or 9 to 1 or 10 to 1 can be a profitable situation should they get maybe to the WNBA finals here somehow. Even maybe in that Final Four, they could be in a situation where you still got a little bit of equity. They're 5th in the pool to win the WNBA championship. So maybe, just maybe, if they are an underdog in that, semifinal series. Nonetheless, I'm going to take a stab here with the Fever to win the whole thing right now. I know there's no value to it because Clark is so popular and the betting is so popular, but gosh, when you watch them play right now, they just look as swift as anybody. Like the offense could be enough to, in the WNBA, the series are a little bit shorter. So give me the Fever here to roll and cover, and I'm going to be looking hard at maybe sending out an over on this one with Atlanta and Indiana today here. Fever for our Tomps. Just me and our Tomps making WNBA picks on a Sunday. Here's the Wings on the road at the Sky, and I think I already gave out my pick a little bit, and this line is even a little bit stale here at 171.5, but I still see some 170.5s actually. So let's go over here this one with Dallas and Chicago. I don't know if I want Chicago as a home dog here without Reese, but Dallas is just a terrible cover too. So maybe the Sky will be worth a look here, quite frankly. But for me, I'm just going to ride this steam a little bit here and take the over in this one with Dallas and Chicago today. Give me the over. I'm going to just tail that steam a little bit. And Rez Doge right there. He does not like the Atlanta Dream. He says they're a garbage can. He likes the Fever in the first half. Thank you, Rez Doge. Hope I'm saying that right. Last game, WNBA. I'm ready to go, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here on the morning steam. I'll get the show a little better here at the end. I start to run out of steam a little bit, but I'm stretching out the show longer now. That's why I'm here. I want it longer. I want to be able to say what I want to say. All right, Connecticut here on the road against the Sparks. Maybe the Sparks here. No, I'm going to take Connecticut. I'll take a minus 10 or so. The widely reported steam came in on the over. Not going to give out the Connecticut Sun as a premium here. It feels like laying close to double digits, but I'll go ahead and lay the points here for sure today. Sparks have pretty much sealed up that last spot here right now. Let's see what it looks like. They are 7-27. Dallas is 9-25. So I'm going to take the Sun to roll on the road here tonight. The last game, I think it's 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific tonight. And our Tomps will take the points. No problem. Big dog at home. Maybe they've covered some points. They've covered some numbers here for sure, no doubt. That's going to do it for the morning steam. I want to thank everyone for joining me here on the show. We'll be back tomorrow with more morning steam with Monday Night Football preview and back to some baseball here a little bit, back to the grind some. And don't forget, you can subscribe to my premium picks over at Winnable. It's free to join my stream of information. I'm going to send out free information every day as well. Free picks, basically, by subscribing to Winnable. What you do when you go over there, click on the QR code in the upper right-hand corner of the screen is one way that you can find me on Winnable, or type in Winnable with 2 I's right there. And when you get there, you would, or Ramon, and when you get there, you'll see the my information there. Let me see if I can show it here. Oopsie daisy. Here we go. When you go over there, you'll see me right there with the my pick. Thank Mike for doing that awesome thing. And then when you go down, you'll see the subscription there, as well as the free to join. This is a free look. Access my free picks there 24 hours a day. So I send out maybe some Asian baseball and everything. Easy to subscribe. You can subscribe right with your Apple Pay or your Google Pay and other things like that. Just asking. I'm hustling a little bit here, but remember, this is how you support me on this new channel, Sports Money with Mikey and the guys here. And you can see there. Oh, don't show. There's my NFL. I get to see it because I'm subscribed, of course, but it's a paid package right there. You can rewind it and see a couple plays there. But there's my NFL premium pick package there for just a small contribution. Let's just call it that. Yeah, you're paying for some picks, but you're supporting me here on the channel when you go to Winnable /Ramon. And use the promo code STEAM. There's even a little cool promo code. You can save 20%. I'd love it if you just join me for a week or a month. And man, a month is only like $20, and you're going to get information from me every day. Hopefully it won't bombard you with information, but definitely going to send several. I'm looking at Hill now. I'm looking at the video. Hill is being demonstrative a little bit. Like, what are you doing putting me in handcuffs? It looks like Hill, my first reaction is that he's being a little bit difficult here, and the police are kind of grabbing him a little bit. Miami there with a statement talking about he will be available for today's game, but he looks like he was being a bit distraught over being handcuffed. And, we've seen it before. He really looks upset with this situation and not cooperative. So how you could get yourself into a situation where maybe you did something wrong, maybe you turned on a red light when it said no turn on red, whatever. Just do, with the officer, we write you a ticket or whatever. Tyreek probably didn't want to, bother with a $350 parking driving violation because he can't afford it. Like we all can't, right? When we get a ticket. So just sign the ticket, get to the game, whatever. I don't want to pick on just Tyreek here, but you'll see it if you didn't already. Why not just move on? Okay, use that promo code STEAM there. And thanks everybody for checking me out. Our Thomas, thank you. Yeah, Thomas, good. Yeah, I'm sending free information out there too. Hopefully the picks yesterday. I know we got a few subscribers. I don't know if they can vouch for me here. Yeah, there were winners, there were losers. I had a lot of winners yesterday with the free picks, with the subscriber picks. Yeah, baseball. Since we came over here, had the baseball days on the winnable just since we've gotten started here. It hasn't even been a week. They were a little shaky. It's baseball. I get that. We smashed it yesterday. We crushed it yesterday here. I don't know if anybody there can vouch for me a little bit that we do have a couple dozen subscribers in there already, but man, we were really knocking it out of the park with a lot of those picks there yesterday with the winnable app. So please, go ahead and get those and subscribe to that. And I'm going to send you in for what's going to happen moving forward, Thomas and gang, is I'm going to come on. I'm going to do the morning steam. I'm going to do 2 hours. And of course, I'll be checking in with those guys on those other shows, but I'm going to be sending out information. It's like having Ramon in your back pocket a little bit when you go with the old winnable account here a little bit, right? So there it is. Sign it up. $0, and you'll have access to my free picks that I'm going to send out. And the other picks will be behind a paywall. It's up to you to get those. But again, it's very, very nominal, actually. And I've made the prices actually very reasonable and inexpensive here. Get it started with Mike over here on the site. And just want to get everybody in. And the price will go up. And we'll all be in there. So get a year with me if you want. It's only $80. $80, you get plays all day long, every day. Hey, maybe they're worth what they are, right? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But you're going to get my information every day, the consensus reports, the Steam reports, and all that. But mostly picks from me. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. And I'll be back tomorrow here on the Morning Steam. For Sports Money, I'm Ramon Scott. So long. Have a great NFL day.